is Wednesday, the 11th of December. So hi guys. It's actually the day before my birthday, but I wanted to film this video today, not on my birthday really, because who's trying to post like sad and stuff on their birthday? Like, I just don't, yeah. But I wanted to film this video today because I just wanted to talk about something and kind of get a little bit real on this channel for a little bit. So if you are subscribed to me, you've probably noticed that I have not posted in months and months and months, and I've not really given much of an explanation or really spoken on my little hiatus, I guess. And kind of just wanted to make a video talking about why I've been gone for so long, and also just kind of having a wider conversation about things related to mental health and just like becoming a young adult. And I just feel like it's been a very interesting and like hard and long year for me, and I just wanted to make this video because I'm like, you know, I don't know if people are gonna see this or loads of people are gonna see this or anything, but if there is a younger person out there who is watching this who's younger than me, you know, teenager, and they are experiencing similar things that I had experienced when I was younger, or even just now, like, you know, we can all talk about it, give some advice to each other, things like that. I just think I know that I do talk about, you know, usually fun things, light things on my channel, but I do also want to give room to be real on my channel also. So I'm probably not going to be editing this video too heavily. So first, let's get into why I've been gone for so long. So I think I posted my last video almost 9 months ago. I'm not even sure at this point, but yeah, I posted my last video 9 months ago, and after that I took an unexpected break. I'll be honest, I was not expecting to not quit YouTube, but basically leave it for a while. I was not really planning to do that. I wanted to be consistent this year. I wanted to be posting all of those things, but I just really couldn't. Something really like unexpected happened. Basically I had a very bad breakdown, like mentally, and it wasn't good. Laughing through the pain. But yeah, it wasn't very good. I was extremely depressed for months on end. I had to, you know, leave the, you know, accommodation, everything that I was in, the uni, all of that. I just couldn't do it anymore. Like mentally I was in like a very just bad headspace, and it just felt like I was being crushed by like a ton of bricks and like a ton of like boulders and like stones. That's the only way I can explain it. It's just like I was being pushed down, and like I couldn't carry any of the weight anymore. So I had like a really bad breakdown, and I was just very depressed for multiple months. I had literally like no motivation to do anything. Even, you know, my closest friends, if they're watching this video, they know as well like what it was like for me. Very difficult time. It was not fun. It was not fun at all. And main reason why that stuff happened was because I kind of went through I'm not gonna say an identity crisis, but more so I guess that time period where like I guess a young person or young adult, whatever, might experience, where they low-key realize, wait, hold on, what am I actually doing right now? Like, what is it that, you know, what direction is it that my life is actually going in? And I just realized I actually don't know the answer to that. Like, I don't know why I'm actually here. I don't know why I'm doing this course at university. I don't know why I'm doing anything. Like, nothing felt right, and I just started feeling very lost and very like unhopeful, like hopeless. I know I used to see people say stuff like, you know, oh, 19, like that year is just not it. And I used to think it was just like, oh, you know, they're joking around, like the girls are just joking around. Nah, the girls are not joking around. Like when I tell you 19, like, because I'm turning 20 tomorrow, but 19 hit me like a ton of bricks. Like it hit me like a ton of bricks, and I just realized, whoa, like I'm basically gonna become an adult and I don't really know like what I'm doing for real. And I know, you know, people might see this video and say, oh well, you know, we're all just kind of thugging it out, seeing what works, stuff like that. I know that, but to someone who's literally just new to slowly becoming an adult, you know, having autonomy over everything that you do, making decisions, things like that, it's a lot. Like it's a lot, and like I guess I was getting very overwhelmed with it, and on top of that, not really knowing, I guess, in terms of career fully like what I wanted to do. It just felt like I was having like an early existential crisis. And I just literally had no room. I had no room for any creative flow or anything like that. Like I did want to make YouTube videos at some point, but literally I couldn't even find the motivation to do it. I couldn't think of any creative ideas, nothing to do, because this was what was consuming my head, like my thoughts so much. And it was just very difficult. It was very difficult. And I finally decided to come back this month. But yeah, I had to go to therapy throughout all of the summer. But after that, I can definitely say like I'm in a much better mental health space, even though I'm not fully like, you know, fully free of the anxiety. I can definitely say like I'm much better, like I'm, you know, in the mood, I'm feeling happy to do YouTube videos, things like that. But the main thing that I would say I feel like contributed so much to this like little existential crisis that I felt like I was having was honestly like my teenage years. And that's the main thing that I wanted to talk about in this video, is the fact that nobody really gives you a manual or any sort of guide. Like there's just no, like, honestly, I was, even before making this video, I was trying to look for like content or like anything that like people have talked about before, about like being depressed like as a teenager. And like it's just not spoken about. Like obviously everyone knows that, you know, teenagers can deal with mental illness and things like that, but there's just no conversation around like actually navigating that and being in that as a teenager, and getting a little I guess giving you guys some Rachel lore. But I've basically known that I had depression since 13 years old, but I didn't actually get a diagnosis until I was 16. But basically like all of my teenage years I've had depression. Like that has been my experience, especially during secondary school, was particularly difficult for me, because I was very depressed and I was living my life almost on this like pilot mode. Like I was just like, I wasn't really experiencing life. It was kind of like I was just observing myself living, and it's like a very strange feeling. Like I don't really know how to explain it. The people who know what I'm talking about or have experienced it, they'll understand what I'm saying. But that's literally how I was feeling. It just felt like I wasn't really living. Like honestly, even if you ask me like, do I remember like some of those years of my life, I don't. Like that's how like depressed I was. Honestly, I don't remember majority of my life like when I was like 15. Like I just don't remember. And that is like, to me, looking back on it now, it does make me sad sometimes, because it's like, you know, you think about teenage years being these years that are so like formative within your life, and like when you have that experience with that time period almost essentially robbed of you by this mental illness that just hit you out of nowhere, what are you supposed to do? And that's now, I think, what I'm experiencing the aftermath of, is that I'm now turning 20 and I'm experiencing the aftermath of like being depressed all them years that I was supposed to actually be finding myself and figuring out what I wanted out of life and all this stuff. Because I guess I'll just give you a little crash course on depression right now. But when you're depressed, and especially when you're just going through like a depressive episode, you have no space to think about anything. Like, you don't have any space to really think about anything related to life other than the fact that you don't want to do life. Like, you don't have any room in your head to think, what am I planning for this summer? What do I want to do this summer? What am I gonna do tomorrow? Things like you're not thinking about any of it. All that's taking up the space in your head is just the fact that you don't like life, you're not enjoying life. Maybe you don't even wanna be on this planet. Like, that's all you're thinking about. And honestly, like, being in secondary school, all these things, like, that is supposed to be the time period where, you test out different things, different subjects, whatever, and you find out what kind of career path you may potentially want to go down. But when you spend that entire time period just being, I guess, not even really experiencing, not even really feeling or thinking about anything relating to yourself, what are you left with? You're just left with a bunch of jigsaw pieces, and you're supposed to somehow put your puzzle together. And it's like, it almost feels like you're now kind of left behind in a sense, because it's like everyone else has kind of had that experience where they've been developing themselves, come into who they're supposed to be. But it's like you had like this giant pit stop and it's like now you're doing that experience that was supposed to happen then later, when it's like you're already older, but it's like I'm doing the stuff that I should have done when I was younger. Like, that's why I feel like I'm in now. Like, I'm almost like having to redo some of my teenage years because I wasn't really living them. Like, I just didn't really do the teenage experience, whatever, anything. And I guess that's just what I'm like, the main thing is for me. It's just like, it's actually like peak when I think about it. Like, I remember I even made a TikTok about this because I like to post TikTok sometimes where I'm just late at night and I'm just thinking, talking to myself, whatever. And I was talking about the fact that it's peak to be like depressed teenager, because you like, depression robs you like in so many ways. Not only just mentally is it taxing, physically can it be taxing. Not only is it taxing in that sense, but it's also, it takes from me even just in whatever time period of your life that you're in, that you should be living, but this mental illness has just robbed you of that. So now you're spending all of your energy trying to fight this thing and you're not really living your life. Like, do you know what I mean? And it's like, as a kid as well, how are you supposed to really know how to like equip yourself or to how to like navigate that? Like, I'll be honest, like, from I guess like age 14, I did not really know how to navigate or really deal with depression. I did not know. Like, I'll be honest, it's only until like maybe the last year or maybe even this year that I've finally like learned how to actually manage my depression. Like, before that, bro, honestly, I was just thugging out. Like, I'm literally thugging out. I don't know what I'm doing. Like, and especially as a kid as well, you're at a time period as well where you're gonna make mistakes and things like that. You may not do things correctly, so it's like you're even more prone to taking like taking bad ways to deal with whatever's happening to you. And I just feel like it's sad that like there's just not really much guidance or anything at all. Like, no one can help you, like, for real, no one can actually help you. I mean, obviously, not to actually, let me not say that because that sounds like I'm trying to say, you're doomed and you're by yourself. No. But if you do not have like people in your life who can be supportive, or people who can genuinely understand what it's like being in your shoes, you are on your own. You have to do this experience by yourself. And honestly, I feel like if I had someone who had like the wisdom and knowledge about mental health and all these things that I do now, who would have been there with me when I was going through it when I was younger, I feel like I would have spared myself a lot of anguish and a lot of just things that I could have skipped in general. Sometimes I reflect and look back because, you know, I do a lot of introspection, but I just look back on my former self and I'm just like, damn, like you really could have used like a helping hand. And like when you really think about it, you didn't really stand a chance. Like you were always going to end up here because of what you had experienced before. And I think that's what's really been, I guess, something that has helped me, I guess, to not really blame myself for, I guess, my mental health circumstance, is that it's not my fault. Like I just did the best that I could do with what cards I was dealt. But yeah, I just really don't like the fact that, like, for depressed teenagers, like, no one actually tells you that that's what's gonna happen later on, is that all that time that you spent trying to fight for your life, you get to like you're 19, 20, 21, and then you realize, wait, hold on, actually, do I really know who I am, what I actually want out of life? Because let's be honest, like if you have been like depressed for multiple years, or you just have depression, there's been multiple times in your life, like I can say as a teenager, there was multiple times in my life where I wasn't thinking about the future. You don't think about the future, you're not considering a future, you don't think about that. Like you just don't care, like, and that's the thing that I find a shame, because you can't get that time back. Like you can't get that time back. And I feel like even just in schools as well, like there's not much I guess what you say, like resources or outlets to really help you with that and understand that. So it's like, it's literally like the analogy that I used before is like you were just given a bunch of puzzle, like jigsaw pieces, and you have to put the puzzle together, and it's like everyone else has already been putting their puzzle together, but it's like, oh shit, now I actually have to start from like the bottom, like from the bottom. So it's like, for me, I think that's just where I've been at, where I am, like just, as mentally, and just even I guess currently now is just like I'm trying to get all my jigsaw pieces and put them together. I honestly just wanted to have like a conversation about it and just talk. I just don't feel like it's something that's really talked about, like, and it's just peak, because it's like, bruh, if someone had told me this was what was gonna happen, but I would have tried to fix up before. I don't know, at least I could have had a warning. But yeah, like nobody really talks about that as well, because I feel like whenever depression is talked about in, I guess, like, you know, educational, or I guess like in a sense of, you know, just conversations around mental health, it's not really talked about in terms of a young person or a teenager, because I know there's so many statistics, sorry, that come out about how Gen Z have, you know, loads of mental illnesses and things like that, and we've been more susceptible to mental illnesses and things like that. It's like, it's all these statistics, but like you like the no one wants to really have the conversation about, okay, we have these statistics now, but what is the reality, what is the experience of these people that are living? Because I know I've seen plenty of TikToks on my For You page, things like that, of people my age, people even younger, speaking about their mental health or speaking about their depression, things like that. And there's just not really any, like, there's no help. Like, there's not help. I mean, obviously there is therapy and things like that, those types of services. But I mean, just in terms of being able to understand yourself, what's happening to you, this experience that you're having, and also just to, you know, I guess make you feel assured that like what's happening to you isn't like your fault. You're not like some like cursed person or like some cursed child that like there's just something wrong with you. Like, do you know what I mean? Because I know that's how I felt as a teenager. Like, I just felt like, is it just me? Like, is there just something wrong with me? Because like, why is everyone else like, you know, hey, turn up? Whole time I'm here like Alessia Cara in that one music video where she's like sitting in the corner in the club, like I don't know, I just don't feel like there's any sort of wider conversation about what it's like being a young person who has mental illness or like mental health issues. I feel like everyone talks about the fact, yeah, people have mental illness, but it's like, okay, can we actually speak about it though? Because like is it just me who's experiencing this stuff? Like, is it just me that this happened to, or is it other people experiencing the same thing? Just wanted to kind of, I guess, give some clarity speak about you know, my break, where I've been at, you know, mental health, things like that. I guess this is what I just really wanted to say. But if anyone else can relate to what I've spoken about today, or any teenagers who are watching this video and you are experiencing similar stuff to what happened to me when I was younger, feel free to talk about it in the comment section if you want to, you know. I want my channel to be like a space where, you know, there's no judgment, nothing, because if you're going through what I went through, then we're twins, we're sisters. I just think that there should be more conversations about what it's like to be a depressed teenager. And I think, yeah, more people should speak about what's going on with them. I feel like just in general, people with mental illness, people who struggle with their mental health, like, I feel like it's good for us to be able to speak about what's in our heads, you know, be able to get what's in here, like, out. So that's just what I wanted to do, and I don't know, for some reason I just felt like especially like convicted to make this video. I don't know. So, you know, even if this video, if it helps one person, you know, gives them some clarity, gives them some knowledge, some wisdom, then you know, I've achieved what I wanted to. But yeah, I'm just making this video because, you know, I wish someone else, one of my favorite YouTubers or whatever had made a video like this when I was growing up, because a lot of the time I just felt very alone, and I felt like nobody really understood. Like, you know, people make jokes like, yeah, you know, I'm depressed, like, ugh. You know, like with the sad bar edits and things like that, but it's like no one really wanted to actually speak about what it was like during, like, I will be back to YouTube now. I will be posting consistently. I've got a video that's in the vault right now. I was going to be a video about my favorite songs of 2024. I'm going to be sharing that, and then we will also have towards the end of the month my things to leave in 2024 video, which hopefully I will be able to film with my friends. But yeah, so we've got good things in store for this month, for the rest of the month, so you guys stay tuned for that. But yeah, that's that's all I wanted to talk about. So I will see you guys in my next video. Stay safe, stay great, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.